Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be watching me from. For some time now, I've not made my live videos as a result of one of two issues which I am sorting. But today, I have decided to come and share one or two experiences with you. This message is for our fellow brothers, the obedient, who are out there. My obedient brothers, I greet you in the name of the Lord. As you can see, the election have come and gone. The Supreme Court have given their judgment concerning the electoral tribunal between President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar. One thing you people fail to realize is this. You people fail to realize that Nigeria is a country that is being decided by few persons. The earlier you know this, the better for you. No matter what you do, Nigeria will always remain Nigeria. That is being ruled by cabals. But the reason why I came this evening is concerning our brothers who still believe that something good can come out of Nigeria. I am not saying you don't have the right to believe in the electoral process of Nigeria. But for you to put your mind and hope in the electoral process of Nigeria, you need to understand the fundamentals. You need to understand the country which you call yours. Since you were born, what have you been able to benefit as a Nigerian? These are the questions you should be asking yourself. What are the benefits of being Nigerian? Since I was born to date, I have never benefited one kobo from Nigeria state. And you said you are saying I should be proud of being a Nigerian. I can't be proud of being a Nigerian because Nigeria has never hurt me. But the reason of my discussion tonight is because a lot of us Nigerians, or who claim to be a Nigerian, you are playing with fire. You do not understand the direction which Nigeria is heading towards. Nigeria is heading towards doom. A lot of you will say, yes, Nigeria is a secular state. Nigeria is this, Nigeria is a democratic state. Within you, tell yourself, with the attitude of the INEC, would you say that Nigeria is a democratic state? Would you say that Nigeria is a secular state? Would you say you have the right to speak as a Nigerian? These are the questions you should be asking yourself. But before I move forward, let me bring your mind down to the country called Pakistan. Pakistan is a country that is founded by a man called Muhammad Ali. This man founded this country in the year 1947. The intention of Pakistan was supposed to be a secular state, just as Nigeria is today. But today, can you open your mouth and put your hand in your chest and say Pakistan is a secular state? The answer is no. As I speak to you now, presently, Pakistan is an Islamic state. Just like the way Turkey was a Christian state, but today Turkey is no longer a Christian state, but Turkey is now an Islamic state. This is the pattern which Nigeria is moving towards. But a lot of you are not understanding. A lot of you are not seeing the dangers that Nigeria as a state is driving into. That is the reason why I have come tonight to share light with you with the state of Pakistan. At the initial, Pakistan was supposed to be a secular state, but today they are no longer a secular state. You can see that Pakistan is a strong Islamic state today. You understand? Because in Pakistan they had Hindus, they have Buddhism, they have different kinds of religion. Even Christianity came into Pakistan in the 16th century. But today Christianity is nowhere to be found in Pakistan. Pakistan is now a purely Islamic state. They derive their constitution from Quran, and it is what the Quran states is final. Now, how did Pakistan converted into an Islamic state? These are the things you are saying. If you look at Nigeria, for example, we have Sheikh Gumi, who is throwing words, unguided statements to the federal government, wanting the federal government to do this, wanting the federal government to do that. But listen to me, my brothers and sisters. Just like the way Ahmed Gumi was doing, is the same thing that Pakistan were doing. They were coercing the minority, depriving them of economic gain, depriving them of social status in the society, that if you do not convert to Islam, you will not be able to have that right you are supposed to have in the society. Are you getting it now? That they were not threatening people to convert to Islam by force. That if you do not convert by force, that you do not have any benefit. The people were threatened to the extent that they fear. Today, Pakistan is now an Islamic state. This is the same pattern. The same pattern Nigeria is moving into. If you do not belong to an Islamic, if you do not belong to Islam, you do not have the chance of becoming the president of Nigeria. If you do not belong to Islam, you do not have the chance of holding any political position in Nigeria. These are their mode of operandis, how they operate, how they do things. But a lot of us are not taking these things seriously. A lot of us are not seeing it because we think because the certain part are, doing their thing, but not knowing that they have been doing underground work to make sure that they bring everybody under Islam. If not for the Igbos who have been fighting to make sure that the dream of the North to turn Nigeria into Islamic state, if not for Mazen Nandukalu who have stood on the gap to make sure that it disrupts their plan of converting Nigeria into Islamic state, that is the reason why they are still holding him today in DSS dungeon. Can you see? That is the reason why they are still holding Mazen Nandukalu today in DSS dungeon. Because he was able to expose the plans of the Northerners. He was able to break their plans. He was able to awaken the subconsciousness of the people, letting them know the danger that is before them, letting them know that the problem that is before them. That is the reason why they are still holding him today in Abuja, in DSS dungeon. Are you getting the point now? If you think that Nigeria is not moving towards the direction of Islam, my brothers, my sisters, you are making this mistake of your life. Turkey was once a Christian state. I believe the people of the Turkey were also like this until they were all converted to Islam. We should not allow things that has happened to others to happen to us before we can learn from the things that has happened to others. Let us as much as possible to learn from the mistake which other people have made. We should be able to derive our strength from the mistakes other people have made to correct our own, so that we will not fall in the same mistake. You see what the state of Israel passing through today. When Hamas was busy neutralizing the people of Israel civilian, the world kept mute. But when Israel started retaliating, you see how the United Nations, you see how the world are now coming against Israel, asking Israel to cease fire. Now ask yourself this question. If Israel never had this iron dome that is protecting Israel, what would have been the state of Israel today? These are the things we should be asking ourselves. We should be sincere to ourselves that the ideology of these people is to take over your country. The ideology of these people is to take over your land. Are you getting it now? I am not going to waste much time today, because I just want to draw this line between the people, how Pakistan was able to convert themselves into Islam. That is the reason why I'm here. It was once a secular state just like Nigeria, but today they are no longer a secular state. This is the footprint which they are following to ensure that they achieve their purpose, to ensure that they achieve their aims. Now you ask me this question. When was Pakistan declared an Islamic state? It was declared an Islamic state in the year 1973. They did secular state between the year 1947 to 1955. 1973 was the first time they had their first ever election, which the parliament decided to adopt the Islamic State, and they use Islam as their what? Their religion. And their Quran is where they derive their Quran is what they derive, where they make their law. See why I greet you, Brother Sarah. So, to all my obedient brothers and sisters out there, I am very sure that you have come to realize that Nigeria is not for you. Nigeria can never be for you. The best you can ever do for yourself right now is to support the disintegration of Nigeria, is to call for referendum. Now, what is the value of naira to dollar? 1,200. Can you imagine? $1 to naira is 1,200. What society can survive under such situation? A lot of Nigerians are going through hell because the people who are handling the country are bringing the country down. They are using poverty to weaponize so that everybody will run away. Then there will now be a change of demography. If you people do not understand the politics that is going on in Nigeria, it is better you start understanding it now. They are using poverty as a means of weapon to weaponize you, so that you will not be able to talk or challenge the government, or you will not be able to challenge the government to air your own point of view. If you say we are in democracy, we should all be able to speak our mind. We should be able to have freedom of association. We should be able to have freedom of speech. But in Nigeria today, you cannot say we are having that freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of speech. It's not possible. Those who have been speaking for the people, look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is presently in the DSS custody as a result of speaking his own mind, as a result of asking for the liberation of his people, as a result of asking for the betterment of the country. But the country who are supposed to call him today, asking what way forward are we supposed to go, instead they went for him. How can a country of such move forward? How can you have a better society when the government themselves are not ready to accept constructive criticism? These are the things which we are talking about. For any meaningful government to be successful, they should be able to have those who are going to criticize them constructively. Because when you have those people who are criticizing you constructively, you will be able to learn from what they are saying to better your mode of governance towards the people. These are the things we are saying. How did Pakistan converted to Islam? Have you asked yourself that question? Look at Pakistan, look at Nigeria. What is the difference? Pakistan was once a secular state. Nigeria presently is a secular state. But in the north, we have more than 12 states that is under Sharia rules. In Nigeria, we have 2 laws that govern the country. One for the north and one for the south. My brothers and sisters, are you people not seeing what we are saying? Before the election, we knew that nothing good will ever come out of that election. But you people were ready to give it all so that your mandate will be protected. But after voting, what happened? You have been cheated yesterday. You have been cheated today, and they will still cheat you tomorrow. You will continue to be voting. It is only a fool that will continue to be doing a thing continuously and expect a different result. Why don't you try the other way by calling the government? Let them call for a national dialogue for us all to decide whether we are ready to stay together as one people. It is your right to demand for referendum. It is your right to demand the federal government to sit on the round table so we can discuss the national possibility if we can stay together or not. Look at those who are speaking on behalf of the people. They are behind bars. They are all behind bars for speaking out for the betterment of the country. But the people who are governing the country are not ready to make amend, because Nigeria was never designed for you to grow. Nigeria was designed for you to keep you poor. Nigeria was designed to keep you down. Nigeria was designed to make you hunger. Nigeria is designed to imprison you. Nigeria is designed to deprive you of your legitimate rights as a citizen. What is the way forward? What is a possible solution for the problems that is going on in Nigeria? These should be the things we should be talking to. These should be the things we should be reasoning. How can we be able to salvage the problems that is going on in Nigeria? There's a lot of poverty in the ground. There's a lot of ritualists on the land. There's a lot of social vices that is going on in the land. Our youth today, 95% of our youth today are into rituals. 95% of our youth today are into fraud, because the government have been able to destroy their future. Because the government have been able to destroy that which they are supposed to call future. Because the government never had plans for them. Those who are graduating from the university do not have the means of having a job. Even those that have job, their job is not even enough to cater for their need. Their job is not even enough to take care of their family, thereby making them going into criminality and into crime. How can you survive in such country? If you are in Nigeria, you are working. If you do not put your hand into fraud, you can work in 99 years, you won't be able to buy a car. You can work in 100 years, you won't be able to have a house of your own. Is this the kind of country we want to live for our children? Is this the kind of country we want to live for the next generation? These are the things we should be asking ourselves. For those who are saying, it is not my business, it is not your business, it is because you are selfish, it is because you are not ready to see your fellow brother happy, it is because you are not ready to see your neighbor put food on their table. Those who are speaking out, those who are speaking truth to power, are those who are fighting for your betterment. Because if everybody is comfortable, if everybody have food on their table, nobody will disturb their neighbors. That is why we are fighting for a better society for all. What we are fighting for is not for us. We are fighting for our children, so that what our father passed through, what we pass through, our children will not pass through it. That is why we are fighting for a better society. In your society, what are you living for if you are not able to impart in the society in which you find yourself? What impartation have you been able to impart in your society? They have used fear and threat to threaten everybody into silence, that nobody is ready to speak out, that the injustice that is going on in Nigeria, that the fraud that is going on in Nigeria, people are not speaking out because when you speak out, those persons will be missing. People are not speaking out because they are scared to speak truth to power. Our pastors who were supposed to be speaking for the people are only concerned of their own belly infrastructure, only of what they are going to get for their own self. If you look at what has happened in the Bible, God used Moses to deliver the children of Israel. Which pastor in Nigeria can you say God is using to deliver the children of Nigeria? Which of the pastors in Nigeria will you be able to say God is using them to deliver the people from poverty? God is using them to deliver the people from the oppressive government. None of them is speaking. None of them is speaking. None of them is speaking. Let's say truth so that we'll be set free. People are so scared to speak to the extent that when they ever see things that is going wrong, they will never want to speak about it. That is why our society today have depreciated to this level we find ourselves today. Pakistan was once a secular state. In the year 1973, they became an Islamic state. It happened in Turkey. It happened in Pakistan. If you do not stand up, it will happen in Nigeria. If you do not confront this evil that is coming your way, it will definitely happen in Nigeria. I just said let me drop this short video tonight so I can bring to your consciousness, so you don't forget that maybe you are thinking you are still in a secular state, but the agenda is Nigeria to be converted fully into an Islamic state. Some European countries see Nigeria as an Islamic state. Some are already seeing Nigeria as an Islamic state. But you as a Nigerian, you still think you are a secular state. Don't allow them to turn it 100% into an Islamic state in your very before. That will be your greatest nightmare. That will be your greatest nightmare. What is your contribution to the society? What have you contributed for your society to be safe, What are you doing to preserve the next generation? Ask yourself these questions. A lot of our celebrities today are doing quite well, but they are not passing the message they are supposed to pass to the people. And I believe the reason why they are not passing those messages is because they too are scared. Nobody is speaking. Nobody wants to speak. You see what Pastor Ebuka was doing, validating Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, telling his congregation that Hope Uzodinma did road to his house, that it was only Governor Hope Uzodinma, where the governor of Lagos State was destroying the Igbos' properties in Lagos. It was only Governor Hope Uzodinma that came out to speak on behalf of the Igbos that made the governor to stop the demolition of Igbo property. Now you begin to ask yourself, what is the essence of government? You said you are a governor, you are a government. You are being paid to be a governor of a state. You are being paid with the taxpayers' money to be the governor of a state. Now you are doing your job as a governor of a state. You are expecting me to come and give you an accolade for you doing your own job? Since we've been here in the Europe, I have never seen when they commission any road in the Europe that people will gather, start clapping for the person that did the road. Because it is my taxpayers' money. It is other people's taxpayers' money. It is my right to have a good road. But in Nigeria, once somebody just constructs 1 kilometer of road, you start singing the person's praise. This is what they have turned you into. They have turned you from you to stop thinking. You are no longer thinking like a human being. You are no longer thinking the way you ought to think as a human. Don't you know that those money which you've been using as tax, you've been paying tax to government, is for them to provide infrastructural development to that community or to that country or to that state? That is their duty. It is not their personal money they are using to build those roads. If it is their own personal money they are using to build those roads, then I will come out and clap for them that they have done well. But despite all the money they are receiving from the federal government, what infrastructural value are we having from the money which we are paying to the government as tax? What are the values of the infrastructural work we are getting from those money which we have been paying as tax to the government? There is absolutely nothing to show for it. There is no good road, no good lights, no hospital, nothing. Teachers are not being paid. Look at our education. Our education is the poorest state, whereby students are busy learning under the tree. But yet we are paying our tax to the government. The money they are supposed to use to develop the citizen. Because if you want to know the strength of any nation, you have to look at the quality of their citizen. That is where you see that, take China for example, look at their citizen, because the government is investing on their citizen. So when you see the citizen of China, American and Europeans, then you can now see how strong and how beautiful that country is, because the government have been able to invest on their people. Can you say that in Nigeria? That is why we are calling for renegotiation of Nigeria, so we can now start sitting. If it is regional government we will start doing, so we should be thinking of regional government. If it is to balkanize the country, everyone goes to their own home and develop on their own pace, it will be better for us all. So we cannot, because of one person is not ready to progress, that everybody should remain poor. You should always know that we, the Igbos, we despise poverty. We hate poverty. We hate being poor. That is why we are asking for a better life. Are you getting it now? So if you are not ready to move in the pace which we are going, let us go so that we can develop ourselves. Because we have a lot to give to the table. That is why we are asking for a new nation. Pakistan was once a secular state. Before the year 1973, Pakistan became an Islamic state. Pakistan was once a secular state just like Nigeria. But today, Pakistan is an Islamic state. What lesson have you learned from this which I have just said tonight? Please, let's think about this so we can start thinking straight, so that we can start thinking on how we can build our society. See you on my next update, guys. One love. Ciao.